Hi everyone, welcome. Today we are going to learn about the structure of HTML and write our first code using the HTML tags and attributes. Let's get started. First, we need to understand what HTML stands for. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's the language used to create the structure of the web pages. Remember in our previous classes, we have said that HTML sets the foundation for any website or web page. So you need to think of it as the skeleton of a website. Let's now look at the HTML structure. So this is basically the basic structure of HTML. An HTML document has a basic structure. So let's break it down step by step. So when looking at this first tag that we have here with our doc type declaration, what this line of code does is that it tells the browser that we are using HTML5. It's like the introduction of a book, letting you know what version that book is. Okay, so while the next line of code here, we have HTML. This HTML tag, you can see at the end here, it's being closed. So this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. So the HTML tag opens the HTML document. It contains everything that makes up the web page. So this closing tag closes the HTML document. So inside of the HTML, we now write our head tag. We call this the head section, where we have the opening head and the closing head. Now this is the head section, which contains the title tags or the title section. So what the head contains is meta information about the web page. All right, so what the title does is it sets the title of the web page, which is what you will see on the edge of your browser tab. So it is still in this section that you are going to have links to your CSS, JavaScript files, and more. Okay, I like to illustrate how this works so that you can have more understanding. So you can see that in my VS Code, I have opened a folder. I initially created a folder on my desktop, Web Dev July cohort, and I'm going to create my HTML document inside of this folder. So let me try to zoom in so that you can see. So here you just hover on it and you see what each of these icons are intended for. Yeah, I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to by default name my file index, right? Index. Then I need to add the HTML extension, like to indicate that this is an HTML document. So I have to use .html. All right. So the HTML, I've created a new file, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going to try to add the following code like we've seen in the basic structure of HTML. Okay, so remember the first thing we did was to declare a doc type. Thankfully, VS Code helps us suggest a lot for that. So now I have told my browser that, oh, I'm writing an HTML5 document. Next thing, I want to have my HTML tag. Remember, let's go back, let me show you. So here we have a HTML tag, which is the next line. So inside of the HTML tag, we're going to have the head. So let's go and write that. So my HTML tag, I'm going to open, and yeah, VS Code automatically close. On line 3, I'm going to now introduce the head. Right? Remember, it's the head that contains your meta information about the web page. Okay, so I'm going to have the head. Good. Now on line 4, I can have the title that will be displayed at the edge of my browser. So let's say first class. So when I go live, you're going to notice how it's being displayed. So if you do not have your live server, you can go to the extension tab here and look for live server. So I think I already have it installed. So yeah. So you have to install this extension so that you can view your web pages on your local. So I'll go here, I'll release the port first because I already opened it before. Then I'm going to go live. And you notice how, yeah, over here on the edge of the browser, we have first class. Okay, so this is the title. This is how the title is being displayed. So now that we understand what that is doing, let's see how we can now display some content on our page. See that we have a blank page. So what do we do to display some content on our page? So if I go back to our slides, you notice that we have a body tag. So inside of this body tag is where all your content goes. All right. So I'm going to illustrate that using. So inside of this body tag is where all the content goes. So let's see that using VS Code. All right. So back in my VS Code, I go outside. On line 6, I'll have my body tag. Remember, you need to write it inside of your HTML tags. You notice how everything inside of my HTML tags. Okay. So I have my body tag. Yeah. VS Code suggested. So this is where you now need to start understanding why you need HTML tags. Because without HTML tags, you cannot define the elements in your document. All right. You cannot be able to hold your content to be displayed on your web browser. So in this case, we're going to try to use the H1. So there are some common HTML tags that we can use. So what tags usually come in pairs. We have an opening tag, that's you open it like this and you close it like this. All right, let me clear that up. So you open the tag like this and you close it like this. All right, so you now have the tag name inside of each of the tags. In this case, we have an opening tag here, so I'm going to try to write an level heading 1. All right, and I'm going to close it. Remember your / so I'm going to display some content here. So let's assume I write, I am the best. We are the best, the both of us. So let's look at our web page and see what's being displayed. So you can see now it's being displayed on the web page. We have a heading with I am the best. So I do not want this video to get so long. So in next class, I'm going to explore more HTML tags and attributes. I'll see you in the next class. Ciao.